All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gamers at Large podcast. I am your humble but not so humble character host, Shadow Fox Infinite. I have with me my lovely panel of associates in the Gamers at Large. I'll go ahead and start with intros to my left, and I'll start with Jay Fleming. Go ahead and give your intro.
What's up, everybody? It's Jay from the Game Cafe. How y'all doing this evening?
All right, and I have Mr. Matty here on the left here. You might want to give your full intro.
Hello. Um, Hi everybody, Mike here, man. How's it going? And yeah, glad to be here.
All righty, Mr. T.
Hey there, fools. It's Mr. T, the Mr. T Show, and enjoying being a Nintendo fan right about now.
All right, and last but not least, we have Mr. Red Fox.
It's a pleasure to be here once again on another one of these podcasts, and I only have one thing to say. You expect me to talk a Goldfinger? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Spectre.
All right, before we go way off topic and talk about the NFC playoff picture right now, I think let's go ahead and talk about some recent gaming news that does not include a oblong brown football object. So I guess we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the Sony PlayStation experience, if you will, give or take. Does anybody have anything to provide before I give the comment that I'm going to give?
Just go. Just do it.
Yeah, just
do it.
Okay, so the comment that I have is coming from JP Kellums on Twitter, and the comment that he mentioned was regarding the lighting engine that was eventually shown at the PlayStation experience for Uncharted 4. And one of the comments he was mentioning was about the lighting in the game and how it basically was kind of like a local light. It only affected certain things during the game. And I kind of made a comment on it, and he went into further detail on it and kind of, I don't know if he was sarcastic or not. I would imagine he was. Quote, if the water started scattering the light, or God forbid, created a physically accurate rainbow, it would have been time to pack it all in. So take that as you will. I don't know. When you see a CGI trailer and then you start seeing glimpses of what the gameplay could possibly be, and it's not even close to that, I don't know. I don't know what to say. But apparently there were a lot of announcements at the PlayStation experience that should have had PlayStation fans happy. Like the Order 1886 had an updated demo and things like that. But I don't know any details on it other than people that are fanboys of it at major gaming press sites drooling over it. So, I don't know. Anybody else have anything? Have anybody watched any of the PlayStation Experience live stream event or anything like that?
Well,
I watched a little bit.
I basically was forced to somewhat watch some of it, and well, that sucked. It was horrible. I gotta say. They announced, a bunch of games that we already knew about. Apparently, Yoshida is now a character in the game, so now people can fondle with that.
Oh god.
Yeah. And apparently they're just putting I thought, when I heard that there were games for the Vita, I thought, oh shoot, they're actually making things. It's just a bunch of indie games and not really much. And of course we had Uncharted, the Fall Down the Ground edition. And we
That's
had
the
the
special edition.
yeah. We had the report of a great game, Final Fantasy VII, a great report for PS4. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, of course they claimed it was being a remake, but
Yeah.
PC port for the win.
Oh man. And I guess there was more, but it was just a bunch of games that we already knew about. It's not really anything new, so it was really depressing because you would have thought, okay, here's more at least FF15 footage. Here's Cage 3. Here's freaking a new jacket, not even jacket, actually like a new freaking what was it, Crash, right? Because there was like some kind of thing going on, like a rumor. And no, we just got the same stuff, and it was really boring. It really was. It was just you had the freaking what's his name, the president there, always doing his forceful clapping. Come on, guys.
Bladen.
Like it. Oh my god, I hate when he forces people to clap. Like no one wants to clap, dude. If no one wants to clap, no one wants to clap. Screw you. But it's.
There's one thing, if I can interject real quick. There's one thing that was kind of different that they announced. They kind of mentioned on the side that that Bloodborne was the levels were procedurally generated, and that's a little bit different than like Dark Souls or Demon Souls.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's anything that's really noteworthy other than. I don't know. I just don't see how that would really drastically affect gameplay, but it is different. So.
I mean, anything that they showed really didn't do anything. They just didn't do anything, honestly. And I think, wait, there was this one thing. The whole Street Fighter V thing, right? The whole debacle about that. That was actually the worst move ever. Because you have those people that play on Xbox that, you know, wouldn't want to get a PS4 for that. I mean, I know it's also on PC, but people are outraged because, I mean, I can understand, but at the same time, it was a bad move for Sony because really, Street Fighter, you're gonna make that exclusive, really? That's such a waste of money.
It's real bad too because the people that bought those $200 to $400 Xbox One joysticks for Killer Instinct are now stuck with just playing Killer Instinct.
Yep.
So until Mortal Kombat comes out, and that's not really you could play that game without a joystick.
Yeah. So it really isn't anything. You know, they really didn't blow anybody away. I mean, to be honest, if they were gonna do the Street Fighter thing, they should have kept that for E3, because now there's like, what can they do for E3? There's no way that they're gonna be like, oh hey, Last Guardian. No, that's not gonna happen at all. I mean, it might, but you know.
Hey, we have Dr. Feelgood joining us right now. Dr. Feelgood, how you doing? Go ahead and give us your intro real quick since you're joining right now, and I'll let you know where we're at.
He's still joining, apparently.
Okay, yeah, he might be self-muting while he's communicating right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the Sony the PlayStation experience. As far as I know of, I haven't really heard anything different. The only thing I know of now, a couple of people are rumoring that this will mean that Microsoft will lead to trying to attempt to do an Xbox experience now. But I thought that was the whole X01 and those kind of things that they were doing right before. I think it was in February. The first one was the X06 was in February, and then they started doing them. They did them like every other year or something like that. So they may end up doing something like that, but I don't think it's going to be in December. It's probably going to be at the beginning of the year, like they've been doing. So closer to their financial. Hey, what's up, Dr. Feelgood?
Nothing but sorry about that. That solid treatment intro there. I had to set up my mic.
Understandable. I spent an hour and a half doing it before this podcast. So, what we were covering was the PlayStation experience. Did you have any comments on that? Have you seen any of the live stream or any of the announcements coming from that?
No, I have not, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah,
I've heard a few tidbits, but that's it. The last thing I think I read about, and this could be completely from a different place, but that there was a Uncharted 4 downgrade.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that amongst other things, but.
If I may interject here, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched snippets of it, and I watch I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTubers who did watch it, so they gave their impressions, and I watched some of their impressions. And yeah, for the most part, there was a lot of people that were disappointed with the event, and understandably so. But I want to give Sony a little bit of props here, because they could have did what they usually do, which is give you a lot of fluff and hype. And I felt like they didn't really do it this time. They actually showed us the actual gameplay of Uncharted and Bloodborne and things of that nature. And I felt that it was a different thing for them, and I I was happy to see that. Obviously, people will talk about visual downgrades and whatnot, but and it'll probably end up worse because we know how the cycle goes for the other guys. Usually get the great thing up front, and then it gets worse and worse as it gets to release, at least visually. But as a fan of Uncharted, the Uncharted series specifically, I'm not. I want to be excited, but I'm not that excited by what I saw because it looks very, very, very similar to the previous games. Obviously, graphically, it looks a little sharper, a little bit more detailed. But that's not why I play Uncharted games. I play them because they're fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, the story is always pretty cool, and nice action set pieces. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'll end up with the game eventually, but I'm not. From what I've seen out of the event and gameplay and whatnot, and people's reactions, I'm not very excited.
Okay, so I just give a quick overview from some of the stuff that I've been hearing. Like I haven't had I haven't sat down and watched the entire live stream of the event or what have you. Just overviews of events that I've been reading and from the subscribers, kind of like what you've been saying, Mr. T. But basically, some of the things I've been seeing is there's new combat systems apparently in Uncharted, and basically ways to navigate the environment and stuff like that, and map management, things like that. So, and obviously they're gonna have new characters and whatnot. But I mentioned the procedural generated dungeons in Bloodborne, so that's gonna be kind of like the difference between that and the Souls games. So there's that. Sony announced a bunch of downloadable titles and whatnot too. I think what was it called? I think one of them was called Kill Strain. I think it's one of them. A bunch of EA's giving away games on PlayStation Network.
Well, hold on, Shadow. I got a question. I
Yeah.
do apologize for interrupting, but is this also where I heard something about like the Final Fantasy? It's not a remake. It's basically not even a remake or a remaster. It's just basically like a carbon copy, like the PC version or something.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. They announced Final Fantasy VII, and it was the PC port.
That's not acceptable, but continue.
Yeah, that whole little demo where they showed Final Fantasy VII running on a high definition engine and all that, the whole intro and everything. Yeah, that's not.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah, it's almost no point in them going back and doing it now.
It's never going to happen.
It's been way too long. So, Street Fighter V was confirmed, obviously, again, and I don't understand why you would. What's with the exclusivity? Because it's not really exclusive if you can still play it somewhere else.
And can we be frank? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Now, this is Capcom. Yes, the version on their thing is going to be exclusive, but we know in like a year they're going to come out with Ultra Edition, and it's going to be on everything. I mean, if they could get that thing on a PS2 or a Game Boy, they tried. So, I mean, at this point, I mean, you just gave them a bunch of money so that they could make a game with no real risk to them, and they're gonna refine the engine and then put the better, more optimized versions on other consoles later on when they come out with Ultra and Super and Mega and Third Strike and Second Strike and Omega and all that stuff.
Rainbow
I have two things to say about that.
Hold on, Mr. Red Fox. I take it you're not going to be looking for the Championship Ultra Dragon Ball Z One Piece Bleach Edition.
You have corrected. You have guessed correct, sir.
I failed for that because I slipped up and bought Street Fighter 4, just Street Fighter 4 for the Xbox.
Well, I know you feel bad about that.
And then like 6 months later, there's like 9 different versions. I was like so upset.
With
$60 out the window.
Now, to be fair to you guys,
two things for me. First of all, I can't really take Capcom seriously anymore because they made fun of their own business tactics when they released the DLC for Dead Rising, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like right there, I can't even really take them seriously because even they know what they do. They know what they do. And then
Well, people have been making
second
fun of
is
him about it for years, though. So I mean,
I mean, it's true. I mean, true, but that right there is like, yeah, at this point, I can't take it seriously. Second of all, I mean, unless this game does something that no Street Fighter has done, which is really taking it like pretty much kind of like 3D, not 3D sprites or 3D, but actual 3D movement like Soul Calibur, I'm just at this point, I'm not really interested in another broken 2D fighter. I mean,
Here's,
not for them.
here's the problem that I have. Capcom also announced that Ultra Street Fighter 4 was coming to PlayStation 4. Why?
And like you, I didn't buy Street Fighter 4. I almost did, but I knew there would be an Ultra or Arcade or Turbo Edition or something like that. But I can say I made that mistake once, and it was actually the opposite effect. Do you remember Street Fighter Cross Tekken? When
Yeah,
that came out, I could have sworn there would be a sequel to it. So I said, I'm going to hold out. Even though I love this game, I'm going to hold out. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be one that's going to be feature filled, more characters, better story, everything. And there wasn't at all.
but they did it for Marvel vs. Capcom and Street Fighter.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
And
I can say that's the only time that to me that I was expecting them to pull one of their own moves, and they didn't. I don't know why they didn't,
I
but they
guess they only
didn't.
do it for games that sell a certain amount. I guess because I would
Yep.
imagine that Street Fighter Cross Tekken probably didn't do as well as say Marvel vs. Capcom or Street Fighter on the sales front. I don't really know. I would have to look at some charts or whatever to confirm that, but I'm fairly certain that that was the case. Um, but yeah, they're announcing Ultra Street Fighter 4 for the PlayStation 4. To what end, I don't know, because Mortal Kombat X is coming out at some point, and Street Fighter 5 is coming too. So I don't really understand why they would do that, other than the fact that I guess the PlayStation 4 needs a fighting game like right now.
Yeah.
So I don't really get it. But one of the things that they were saying is Street Fighter 4 is going to be cross-platform between PC and PlayStation 4, which is something that Sony hasn't really tried since PS3 last gen. So, but that's a step in the right direction, in my opinion, when it comes to that kind of stuff. Ultimately, I want it to be where all the consoles can play against each other. I mean, like, why not? So, somebody please go find a Kickstarter and fund Sega Snap again, because that was
Yeah, that was fun.
yeah.
that was their cross-platform version of they wanted everything to work across all platforms, and it was possible. So. But
Mm-hmm.
well, we'll see what happens. The only other thing that I have is Drawn to Death was announced from David Jaffe's team, and it literally with the same logo of Drawn to Life, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what the premise is there, but there it is. I guess he just wanted to get attention by using that title.
Oh, can I interject briefly about that title?
Go ahead.
Drawn to Death looked very familiar to me when I saw it, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And then I looked in my Wii collection, and I saw Mad World, and I was like, oh, that's where I've seen this before.
Ah, works for me. So
Yeah.
Mad World is on another platform now.
It's Mad World
With a completely different developer.
It's got David Jaffe, though, so it's going to be bloody and violent and cursing, so, yeah.
Well,
In other words, awesome.
I was happy at the PlayStation. Well, I was happy for one thing, showing up the PlayStation experience, and that was MLB The Show. So, other than
Yeah.
that,
I take it nobody saw the brief announcement that they were gonna do something with God of War.
I saw it. I saw the brief announcement, but I don't know about any details.
It's
Well,
probably
they're
gonna be another
Sinjin. I don't
remake.
trust them.
Well, I don't know, because like the way people are reporting on this, it's not gonna be like a remake. It's probably gonna be a reboot. Because apparently they laid off. Apparently when they laid off a lot of people from Sony Santa Monica, that was the group that they did it with. They laid off.
Wow.
Apparently, I don't understand why they did that, but hey, whatever.
So they killed the golden goose, essentially.
Well, so a lot of some of the team members from that God of War team was the ones that got let go. So I don't know exactly from what they're saying, from what was reported on like online on like IGN and games was it game trailers. It was like they were it's supposed to be like either a reboot to try to like fix the story part of it, because if you played the series, you already know they can't really go forward
Nope.
because of how stuff ended in 3. You know, you
Yeah.
can't really go forward because of what happened. So the whole thing about them probably trying to do is either just reboot it, because
Yeah.
that was one of those games that they didn't expect to get popular, and it did, and they didn't have a story for it.
They painted themselves in a corner, basically.
Yeah,
Well,
that's basically what they did.
I wouldn't be upset with them to reboot it, but I mean,
Yeah.
I could get into it if they actually gave me a likable protagonist.
I actually like Kratos. I just think he's a douche.
Yeah, I can't. It's really hard for me to play as like a total d-bag. Like, I play RPGs. I like play as the really, really, really good character.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. So I can't. Kratos just was completely like, no, can't do it.
No, that's understandable.
And I just kind of want, I just want them to go back. I want Sony to like announce a deal with Capcom. Say, hey, you know what? We're bringing back a Power Stone, or or something like that. Or there's another Onimusha. You know, just go back to some of the franchises. If you're gonna do a reboot of something, don't do a reboot of a game that everybody's been asking for all this time, and there's no way you're gonna ever meet any of the.
Shadow.
You're not gonna meet any of the
You're
demands.
speaking sin.
I mean,
What's
what
wrong
you're
with
doing, you're actually expecting, you're speaking on the expectation that they love money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
speaking
And they don't,
about
because I
Sony
mean, I
and
did a game
Capcom.
cap with Power Stone, and I mean, to me, besides Smash Brothers, if I didn't have Smash Brothers, I'd be playing Power Stone. Like,
Yeah, Power
seriously.
Stone is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
Power
they could
Stone
bring
is
back
the bomb.
that one what game was that? There was a Strider game that was okay on the PS2. There was a what was that game? I want to say it was a Tenchu game. I don't think it was Tenchu though. It was a game where the main protagonist was a female and she killed people with
That
string.
was Tenchu. No, that wasn't Tenchu. That was the guys that made
It was a sequel to Shinobi,
yeah, Shinobi. Yeah,
and it was called. I'm gonna look it up
I can't remember the name of it.
because it's in my head right now.
I know what you're talking about because she was like in red. She looked,
Not
yeah.
Nightshade?
it started with an N, I think. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that game was
Yeah.
hard but fun.
It was very hard, but it was very fun.
So that kind of stuff, I'm like,
It was called Nightshade.
yeah, Nightshade. You bring that kind of stuff back. You know, bring back like. Although I think Nintendo should probably keep this. Bring back stuff like Bloody Roar. You know, Bushido Blade.
I mean,
And
bring
obviously,
back Ballerina Toshinden.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring back Toshinden. You know,
Brave Fencer Musashi.
You know,
yes.
and I know this is asking a lot, but Tobal, which is by Square.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Tobal was good. Wasn't that like a fighter game, but also had RPG elements?
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it had some of the RPG characters in it. Yeah.
You know the only 2D fighter to me that's actually withstood the time, and it was, to me, it was actually a great alternative to the Street Fighter series, Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear is kind of stepped up the game. It's just gotten crazier and crazier with each installment. So, and the art is just amazing. So it's just.
I think the art that gets most people, then the craziness, because the craziness does work.
Samurai Showdown is still a lot of fun too.
My only
Yeah.
problem with Guilty Gear is getting lost on the screen because the art is so colorful and it's so vivid. Everything stands out. So
And then
it's
all
like,
the moves are like ultraverse. They just look like so extreme.
yeah.
But you know, the cool thing about Guilty Gear is that it's very accessible. Like, if you've never played a 2D fighter, you can get into Guilty Gear and mash, and you can do button mash, and you can do some amazing looking things. Now, it's also got mastery to it. Like, you can learn stuff. But I mean, anyone can pick it up and play it. and do some really cool stuff with it. I mean, it's not like hard to get into.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic because we're obviously there was nothing really to go for on the PlayStation experience, so to speak, that you probably couldn't get from a demo. But greatness awaits. That much I will say.
So look,
Stop.
to quote Reggie, meh.
Well,
Oh boy, we're gonna get slammed for this one.
speaking of Reggie, that'll be my segue,
Where
right?
are my awards? Where are my awards?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
the
where are
Game
my
Awards.
awards, son?
The Game Awards was done, and somehow Jeff Keighley didn't get strangled by Reggie or anybody else for that matter. But he managed to get with everybody in the industry outside of Spike, thank God, to do their own award show. And it had issues in some places, but it really excelled in a lot of other places that basically made VGX and some other award shows previously look like old hat. So I'll go down the list of winners and nominees here. We'll talk about the show in general after that. So in order, I'm actually pulling this from a Polygon article, but in order, I guess alphabetical order or however they wanted to do it. I don't know if it was in the order of the way they were awarded because a lot of stuff was off screen. So best performance, they had Trey Parker as various voices. One of them being South Park Stick of Truth. The best score and soundtrack was Destiny, and I honestly I think that was fitting.
No, that's not. It's not Destiny. It's not Destiny. It's Halo. Okay.
but it's fitting considering the drama that was happening between Marnie O'Donnell and Shaq Division at the time. So best online experience went to Destiny. I say that with the voice that I have right now. Best mobile handheld game was Hearthstone. Yeah, they lumped that all together, mobile and yeah, they did that. We'll talk about that in detail. Best fighting game was Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Developer of the year was Nintendo. The best sports and racing game was Mario Kart 8. The best shooter was Far Cry 4. Games for Change was Valiant Hearts: The Great War. I guess there was some type of topic in there that they wanted to cover. Best narrative was Valiant Hearts. And the industry icons was Roberta and Ken Williams, and I believe that was the weird interlude we got there with the green hat. That was kind of odd. The best independent game was Shovel Knight from Yacht Club Games. Game of the year went to Dragon Age Inquisition from BioWare. The best remaster went to Grand Theft Auto 5 from Rockstar North, formerly known as DMA Design.
Can I ask a question about that?
A question about DMA Design or Grand Theft Auto?
No, the remaster, the best remaster.
Oh yeah, that category. Yeah, they invented that too. But go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, how many of you guys are so happy it didn't go to Last of Us?
I was happy about it. I will admit.
Well, it was gonna go to either Last of Us.
I mean, both not. Trust me, both of them are bad. But my thing is, I was so glad Last of Us didn't get it because, my gosh.
But
It was gonna go to one of them.
between those two, though, technically shouldn't Last of Us get it?
Yes.
Because it was a better remaster of the original game, whereas Grand Theft Auto 5 was a literal remaster of everything that was wrong in the first game.
And we fixed the online, so y'all shouldn't be mad.
Yeah. And that had issues
really
that
should have wanted that was Pokemon actually, because it actually changed. That's the thing.
Well,
and
they
there it
probably
actually
just kept
changed.
that. They probably just kept that for the mobile handheld thing. And yeah.
Because
you
the
saw
thing
that
is,
kind of-
Last of Us did not change at all.
It's the same game.
It's the same game. It's the same game. They have the same DLC on the store. It's all like that. GTA
So was
5.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, remaster was literally a word.
First person one. That's all you got.
Technically, it's a port.
Yeah, it's the PC port, basically, is what it is.
But anyway, best action adventure game is Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor from Monolith. um, with help from Warner Bros. Interactive for all the licensing. Best role-playing game was Dragon Age Inquisition. Best family game was Mario Kart 8. So Mario Kart 8 got 2 awards so far. And you have the fans' choice, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The esports player of the year was Nade Shot from Call of Duty. Esports team of the year was Ninjas in Pajamas in CS Global Offensive. Most trending gamer was Total Biscuit. And best fan creation was Twitch Plays Pokemon. So, do you want to go over these line by line, or does anybody have like general comments about the show in general? Because I was going to talk about how the production of the show and everything like that after we talk about the individual awards themselves.
Well, I mean, the show overall was actually better, way better. But then again, talking about it being better than last year's was just.
You're not saying much.
That's not a high
I see your point. It's like saying, I mean, if you're saying it's better than a turd, I mean, it's good that it's better, but it's still pretty much a turd.
Yeah, like wet turd versus dry turd.
Yeah.
But
I mean, someone saying,
it's like that slogan in Major Payne. You're still a shit sandwich. You're just not a soggy one.
yeah,
But in all honesty, though, just being completely honest, it was a way better show, way more tolerable show overall.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show actually.
You watched it to the end.
I just didn't like the whole sideline awards.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That was
either.
weird.
Like,
Yes.
I don't understand how a lot of awards were not shown on screen. That just didn't. I know they do that at all award shows, but usually those are like smaller awards.
Yeah,
like
like
you watch like
something
the
nobody knows about.
Grammys, yeah, like the Grammys or the Academy Awards. That stuff is like done like the stuff that they did during the daytime.
But the
or
thing
stuff
that got me is that they would announce an award and not even give the person the actual award.
Yeah,
It
they
was just
wouldn't.
like, you
It was
won
just
for
there.
this, but we'll give it to you later. Like, did they have enough
Yeah.
awards to go around?
I guess they did.
well, I mean, the thing that I found about this award show, and the thing
Take a deep
is,
breath, it's fine.
the thing is this. Aside from the quality was better than the award show that we had last year. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, to me, and this is just my personal opinion, aside from the stuff that was revealed by Nintendo, like if Nintendo wasn't there to do the heavy lifting with their reveals, there was almost nothing at that award show that I was like, man, I'm glad I watched this. If you took the Nintendo stuff out, it was like, wow, this was. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the PlayStation experience, but it's just very bland to me.
Oh, stop being a fanboy. You stop being a fanboy.
So you didn't like Imagine Dragons, dude? How dare you?
Yeah,
Look,
like,
Koji Kondo was cool.
My
That
God.
one dude
What about
holding
before?
the Game Boy, that one dude holding the Game Boy and playing the same 2 songs over and over
I don't know.
and over again. That was great too. I really enjoyed hearing that same song over and over again.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. That dude, I thought he was gonna have a seizure, and I said so that night. He was starting to scare me, man. He
Talking
needed
with the
to-
green lights.
No, the other dude, the little DJ looking dude.
Oh
Yeah. I mean, he's like, I'm a DJ. I'm like, dude, you don't have a turntable. How can you be a
Yeah.
DJ?
All you got is like a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy SP. I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
And I know what some people are going to say. Well, he was playing chip tunes. Look, I have seen people who have those chip tune rigs, and it's not a Game Boy. I mean, it's got the motherboard of a Game Boy, but I mean, literally, they're still doing DJ stuff. I mean, this dude,
man,
I don't know.
stop being a salty ass Nintendo fanboy. all right. The show, production wise, this is how we gotta judge the show. We can't judge the show on like, cause you look at an award show. Most award show, like even the Oscars and stuff, I don't enjoy the whole show. There's certain things about the show I enjoy, and overall, I like the show. And that's how I feel about this Game Award show.
I think it was.
I didn't enjoy
predictable.
everything, but overall, I thought the production was pretty good.
It was
Yeah,
pretty.
that's fair.
Yeah, way better than last year.
Look,
Way
here's how it's gonna go down. It's way better to have it on a stage than inside a hotel lobby. Okay. now that, and the reason is also you have where Reggie was basically taking over the show. Okay, he basically was, if you notice, and the thing is, Jeff really wasn't that much of a bother, you know. So it's okay. I actually liked it this year. It was great. Everybody actually acted like they wanted to be there this time
Yeah.
because it was actually on a stage. It was all this stuff. So it was great. I'm not saying it's the best because the best ones were with Sam Jackson, to be honest.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the thing is, this one was better. And the thing is, now I hope for the next year they even do even more because now they're not with Spike anymore. So that actually is better because I noticed when they were with Spike, it was like their budget was like down. So now that now that basically Jeff has the support of many of the companies, including Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, they have those support. They can make a big, huge award show, especially planning for next year. Because I noticed in this one they try to make it like a little bit like last year and the other years, putting all that stuff. But if they just approve upon it, that's it. But at the same time, it just wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't Joe McHale. All right, so that's why I'm just gonna leave it.
All right. So what I wanted to go over, I know we got categories and whatnot, as far as like winners and things like that, but we probably had a little bit of a sarcastic taste on that, and the only reason why I would suggest that we do, because I know I don't think it was at the last Gamers at Large. There probably was another podcast we were talking about, but I kind of brought to light exactly how Jeff Keighley got his panel of judges together, if you will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down a list of the judges themselves, and I'm not going to give a full background, but I'm going to state where they're from now, and we can kind of make guesses. I put it this way. Everybody I'm listing right now, where they're currently working, they probably weren't. They were there maybe for a year or so, and a lot of these other people, they've been around other places in the industry for quite a bit. So I'll start from the top. Lou Keston is from the Associated Press from USA. So basically a how can I say this, a generic news reporter. Tony Mott from Edge Magazine UK, Andy McNamara from Game Informer, Brandon Jones from Game Trailers, Tal Blevins from IGN, Jamie Warren from Killscreen, Nacho Ortiz from a Spanish outlet called Mara Station, Chris Grant from Polygon, Mike Snyder from USA Today, Ben Silverman from Yahoo, Federico Sella from that's an Italian mag, Corriere della Sera, Victor Lucas from Electric Playground, Canada, Sophia Tong from Games Radar, Jeff Gerstmann from Giant Bomb, Jean-Marc, I can't pronounce his name, Walliman, that's from Jocks Video France. I'm familiar. Everybody should be familiar with that site. Keza McDonald, Kotaku UK. Presently, that's where she works. Evan Lati from PC Gamer, Joachim Hesse from Spiel Tips, I guess the name of the site, Germany, Jeremy Parrish from US Gamer, Dale North from Destructoid, Darren Franlick from Entertainment Weekly, Ben Howard from GameSpot, Keith Stewart from The Guardian, Ludwig Kessman from Joystick, Ty Martins from LA Times, Robert Koo from Penny Arcade, Katsuko Hayashi from Famitsu, and Chris Kohler from Wired. And I will say the vast majority of these people, with the exception of people like the Famitsu guy, some of the PC Gamer guys, some of those other people, they've moved around quite a bit. And these are all people that have had somewhat of a history with Jeff Keighley in some way, shape, or form. So it doesn't surprise me that a lot of these judges are judges, if you will. But not to say that the show itself is biased, because that doesn't necessarily mean that all these people have the same taste. But all these people have worked with Jeff in some capacity or the other, outside of where they worked for quite a bit. So it shouldn't be surprising, actually, because he came with he used all the connects that he had to make everything happen, to include first party studios. So I would say it's actually a great feat by one individual to stand up and make something like this happen. But with what I just listed, it shouldn't be surprising who the award winners are, for the most part, because if you go by a lot of these people's tastes, it lines up exactly with what they like.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the only things that annoyed me as far as who won was the Bayonetta getting snubbed, and that whole melding together of handheld and you know, handheld and mobile
And
device, right?
mobile, yeah.
Right. That kind of annoyed me. But other than that, I thought it was pretty decent. You know, as far as
Yeah.
you know, who won and whatnot. And
Hey,
I love that Sierra tribute. I love that. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
it got a little weird, but it was awesome.
Yeah, it got a little
Really strange.
Plenty of
Really
question marks on the
strange.
stream. And speaking of which, NXR did a live stream. To those that are watching right now, we did a live stream, so please go take a look at that. We did our little live reactions and whatnot, because it was fan requested. So if you look under the Gamers at Large page, it should be there now, if I'm not mistaken. You can go there on YouTube and then give it a lot of likes, whatnot, or comment or what have you. Get some kind of activity on there and talk about how I was missing for almost an hour, but that's neither here nor there. But it was a good show all the way through. I didn't have any complaints. The only thing I had an issue with was what was called this is what they did with the Spike VG Award trailers. They called them world premieres, and I'm like, when you say premiere, that typically means it hasn't been shown before. So that's the only thing I had a problem with. But that seems to be it's turned in the industry lingo now for here's a trailer. So
Yeah.
I don't get that, but whatever. It is what it is. Because I think they did the same thing for the Nintendo stuff too. They called it world premiere, and I'm like, they've already showed this before. Why are you calling it a world premiere?
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think that's just the way it seems to be, like industry speak now. The same way they came up with the whole AAA game mantra and all that other kind of stuff. They come up with their own lingo, and internally and externally, and it kind of sticks. So kind of like Smash Brothers.
Sounds cool,
No,
dude.
just like in Smash Brothers. No Johns, man. No Johns. No Johns. but my controller, but the lag. No Johns, man. No Johns. We don't do that. If you don't know what Johns is, look up Johns on Smash Wiki, and it'll give you and give you a full detail of what that is. I say no Johns in Killer Instinct matches. It's hilarious. So, but anyway, any of you fellas have any comments regarding that overall though? Otherwise, I feel the show was pretty great.
I will say this though, I did like the ending, the whole Koji Kondo and Imagine Dragons dude. That was awesome, and all I'm gonna say is I want Imagine Dragons to do the theme for the new Zelda game. But that part was awesome. I like I said before, like I did have a problem with some of the awards being done off screen. I didn't understand that, but other than that, it was fine. It was great. So.
I think my guess would be that some of the stuff got thrown in last minute, and that's why you had the side stuff going on. Like I think a lot of the rehearsal stuff didn't happen. That usually happens for these types of things because Koji Kondo missed a few notes here and there, and and that weird Sierra thing going on. So I think that had something to do with it. They probably didn't have the biggest budget, and they have a lot of rehearsal time, like some of the bigger shows, award shows do. So, I tack it up as that, and I'm fine with that. I like this format a lot better than the wannabe Oscars or Hollywood big production stuff. That stuff annoys me. I like this venue a lot better.
Does anybody feel that this award show was at least moderately successful? Because I would imagine that there were a lot of unique hits while they were doing that, and they probably got a lot of ad revenue. I would imagine. So
I think
it was fairly successful.
Yeah, I think it was.
I hope it was. I want to see him continues.
Yeah,
so,
it looks pretty good. I like the way they have it now, and I hope it continues. I really do. So, with that, I don't have any further comments on the subject, nor do I have any further subjects to discuss, unless you guys want to talk about any of the recent gaming news.
Final Fantasy VII for the win.
I just wanted to. I guess I just saw this. Somebody posted it and showed up in my notifications about Nintendo profits for the holiday, looking pretty good. I think this might be a typo, but here's the title. It's a Bloomberg article. Nintendo heads heads for best holiday in years as profits seen tripling. And that's the headline there, and it talks about the profits tripling, and they expected to get $1 billion from amiibo sales in the U.S. alone. I think that might be 1 billion yen, but I'm not sure because it just says $1 billion from amiibo sales in the U.S. alone. So wow, that would be crazy if that's not a
Well, I
typo.
mean, well, I don't think it's too far fetched. If you think about the amiibo and how much it may cost to produce, like mass produce the ones we have now. I'm not saying they're, low quality because I do actually love them, but I can see that this is going to be a huge profit margin for Nintendo.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
mean, we're not talking about them making a game. This is basically a plastic figure, immovable figure with a small chip in it.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really see this costing Nintendo, tons just to
Yeah,
produce.
my guess would be no more than $3, $3.50 per amiibo as far as production costs. I would be surprised if it was more than that. So they're making probably close to $10 per amiibo
Yep.
sale. So that's crazy.
Yeah,
So
they're
I
also
can see them saying that, and within a year's time, we're going to make probably about $1 to $3 billion, in profit off of Amiibo. I can see that.
Oh, they're
Because
talking about this holiday. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, they said 1 billion in the U.S.
This
alone.
year, yeah.
I don't know if it's 1 billion in the U.S. alone, but if you factor in every other market that the Amiibo's in, and it appears it's doing well everywhere where they've released it,
Yeah.
it would not surprise me.
Yeah, look, I would be less surprised if it said 1 billion worldwide, but the article specifically says in the U.S. alone.
Well, if it's in the U.S. alone, I've only got one thing to say. They need to fire Wada because he's bringing down the company. They need to take him out back, give him his bow and his basket of fruit, and say, "You got to go, man. Get out of here."
Here's my question of the day. Talking about that and them expecting triple profits from Amiibo and things like that. Does anybody here think, because I hear a lot of negative comments from some people that may not be fans of these guys, that they tend to think, how can I say this? It's probably not a good way to say this, but they tend to think that that Nintendo basically manufactured rare defects on some of the amiibos on purpose. So people kind of go out and they really hunt for these double shotgun wielding Samuses and these sideways looking Peaches missing legs. So does anybody think that even might be a possibility, or do you think that people are tripping and that 3D printing is not perfect?
I mean, it's possible, but I don't see why that's a problem. Well, who cares if that was the case?
Nintendo had a legacy of doing stuff like that. If they were doing shady stuff like that in the 80s, we only made, we know this is a big huge game. This is the Mario Black Box with Mario and Duck Hunt. We know it's a big huge seller, but we only made 20,000, and we're just doing it to jack up the prices. If they were doing that back in the 80s and they did it every single console gen with a game, then yeah, I'd say, well, it doesn't surprise me. But I haven't seen them do that back in the day, and
I have a problem with the whole premise that it's shady. Why is that? Do you have those Nintendo Championship cartridges from the 80s that go for $20,000-$30,000?
Yeah, but those were supposed to be a limited run. This is something that
my thing is, why? What's wrong with having something limited? Nintendo isn't profiting from that. That's whoever sells that thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Nintendo profits from the mind share, and that's it, really.
Right.
Now, I guess the other thing is this, so yeah, that did happen in the 80s where they did kind of do limited runs of carts, so they would increase sales, and then they would get sales in the long run once the publisher or whatever paid for more carts, and then they could distribute those, and then Nintendo would make the money off the licensing. Well, in other cases, people tried to attribute that and say, well, that's exactly why the Wii was popular. It was shortages and people sold out, blah, blah, blah. No, they took that junk to people's houses, to moms and grandmas everywhere, across the state for free. They really could not make more consoles at the time. It was unprecedented. What other console has sold that much that fast?
actually, like back on the amiibo thing though, dude. In every time you manufacture anything, there's gonna be
defects.
there's gonna be defects. So people saying that they did that on purpose. Number one, you have no concept of manufacturing, and two, you don't have any concept of business because nobody is gonna do something like that on purpose.
But you know what though?
Thing.
Bringing up defects, that dual cannon Samus that sold for
That's not a
$2,500 on eBay.
I think that was a defect, and I think what it was is that whoever was QAQCing that, I think they let those slip on purpose because they wanted to keep one or two of them.
No, I know that was a defect. I mean, like,
it was done intentionally because I think they did that because something that rare, and they don't even announce it. I mean, this dude, I read the article, like how he came by. He went to actually go pick up like his free amiibo, basically, and they handed him that one. And it was like, whoa, he got it home, and that's when he realized like it had 2 arm cannons on it, just like a Peach sold on I think eBay for $1,500 because she had no legs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some stuff is gonna get slipped.
They should have held on.
It's still being done by human eyes. Dude, some stuff is gonna just slip.
Well, the reason I said it's not a defect is, I mean, first of all, the amiibos are based on the chip. The chip doesn't work. If you can't scan your amiibo in, then it's defective. Secondly, I mean, let's be frank though. Wouldn't it be cool to have a Samus in an actual game with 2 hand cannons?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. If it was a John Woo movie with doves, yeah.
I don't know how she gonna open doors, but
yeah.
The reason I don't think it's a defect because if you look at it up close and personal, the 2 arms at the elbow point, the one with the arm cannon, like it's vastly different. And seeing that it did both arms the exact same way, that wasn't a defect.
Maybe someone made it that way. They wanted to make a special amiibo for themselves. They were going to get it off the assembly line. It was going to be theirs.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get to it in time, and it got boxed. And they're like, dang.
So some of the things that are happening now, right? So people are finding like other defected amiibos, right? So like Fox and Villager, like the NFC chip doesn't work and stuff like that is happening. So people are buying all these defective ones. People are going out and hunting for these. So,
not realizing that that's not what they. Yeah.
I mean, so it's possible that a defective Fox, that the NFC chip doesn't work. It's possible that could be rare and you could sell it on eBay for a lot of money or what have you. But I mean, why are you you're going out of your way to pay for a product that doesn't work? You pay for it twice, and I mean, at the end of the day, if you're like any of us, that I don't necessarily collect, but when I get something, I typically don't want to sell it. So, is it something that you really want to keep like that, and just so it can get rare and then sell it, or because I personally, I probably wouldn't want to part with it, especially if I can afford it.
I would have sold it right away. I'd have waited 10 years or so. That thing would have probably sold for 10, 20 times that much by then.
You know what I'm saying? That was stupid on his part.
That's stupid.
Yeah, because I'm thinking you did pay $13. You got a rare amiibo. It's like, but dude, in 5 years that could have been $20,000 or $30,000.
Seriously, it's gonna be a million. I guarantee it'll be that much.
Yeah. Yep. And so Destructor just put an article out yesterday saying that they're discontinuing Martha Wii Fit Trainer and the Villager amiibo.
Well, actually, I have a news flash about that. David Young from Nintendo of America says essentially in a tweet, that ain't happening.
Sweet.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That would sound stupid.
But you know what though? I can see it's likely these kind of lies to actually discourage other folks from either wasting time trying to find them or to encourage people to go out there and scoop them up.
I mean, it's gonna work for people buying them anyway, because people are gonna go buy them if you say that they're going to be discontinued.
I mean, let me put it this way: I was one of those people that initially was kind of skeptical about amiibos. I mean, the concept looked cool, but I was like, man, why am I gonna collect these things? But now I've got them hanging up on my big screen. I haven't even opened them. I just like looking at them, looking like they're in stasis or something.
Same here. I haven't opened none of mine.
It's hard. I might just have to. I might just have to buy another set. I might buy another set and just open those. You know?
I think so. I think I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, like my link is still not open. That's the only one I've gotten so far. But I said that I'm actually going to buy like 2 of each so I can have one for display and one to play with.
I love these packages, man. It's just nice packaging.
Yeah, it looks like someone literally like I finally got Smash Brothers. Like, cause think about it, you got these little figurines and they're fighting, and when they lose, they turn into trophies.
Yep.
Well, now literally we have the trophies.
You have the trophy. They're damn cool.
We're Master Hand and Crazy Hand. I can't do that laugh, but still, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo, look, whoever came up with this idea, give them a raise. And if Iwata came up with this idea, he needs to give himself a raise.
I'm pretty sure they're getting this a profit share, which is a lot better than a raise.
That's better. Yeah, that's way better.
So apparently the Peach amiibo was spotted in the wild, though. I guess the other one wasn't. And for whatever reason, people are still thinking that Wii Fit Trainer is going to be obviously. I'm thinking that some of them are produced less often, or they're sent to less stores because probably less stores decided to purchase them ahead of time.
Yep.
So like there's stories like Walmart selling Wii Fit Trainer amiibo for $60, craziness like that. So obviously there's a ratio of different. I'll put it this way. Every store in America probably has a Mario amiibo. So there's probably a lot more of those than there are of some of the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then there's also exclusive amiibo per retailer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's probably a ratio of of certain frequencies of amiibos out there. So if there's anybody listening to this, you might, if there's an amiibo that you want, you might want to hop on it. Like
Get it now.
Well, I got bad news. If you're looking for Marth,
Yeah, cause
Go to Amazon. Amazon still has it on. It's still on Amazon for Marth.
yeah.
Yep.
no local retailer carries Marth at
Yeah,
all. I've
I can
checked
see
them
it.
all.
Yeah, locally in the retail.
Yeah, that's what I'm
but it's
saying.
not
You gotta go.
discontinued, but they just don't have them.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you want to go get some, there's some on Amazon that are sold out. Like Link is sold out, Mario is sold out, Yoshi is sold out, and Villager sold out.
Seriously?
But like
Yeah, because
on
they heard
Amazon.
about how rare he was.
Mario is sold out?
On Amazon, yeah.
But
Good God.
I
Last
can see that because
checked
he's one of the
yesterday.
few.
You can
He's
go
one
to
of
the
the few
store
that's
and find
displaying one of his powers, like in his amiibo character.
Well, that and people are lazy too now. Well, not necessarily lazy, but a lot of people don't want to shop for Christmas. Like when they're, why go out and all that craziness during Black Friday
Yeah.
when you can just order it and have it sent to you?
Yeah, because I know I did some of that.
And a popular item is going to get hit like that all the time on Amazon, so they're probably continually out of stock.
Yep. I tell you, Amazon's the best thing in the world for people who just don't want to go out in that mess.
Yeah, and I've been saying that I've been championing Cyber Monday for a very long time. I want to say for probably about 4 or 5 years now. And now I guess it's starting to take a head now since, people are not even shopping on Black Friday anymore. They're shopping on freaking Thanksgiving. So it's kind of, it's really weird now. There's no point in even doing that. Like, me personally, I'm probably going to do Christmas shopping like next week. Because, it's like, ain't nobody really going to be there.
Cyber Monday. It's like Cyber Week.
Yeah. So, but nobody's going to be competing with me to go get anything except for like other dads, like, and dads go get what they want and they leave. They don't shop around. They don't go ask for deals. They see if it's there. If it's not there, they're out. So I probably shouldn't have any issues while I'm going on my rare amiibo hunt or what have you, or looking for whatever CDs out there. So I shouldn't have any issues. So shop when everybody else ain't shopping. That's what I say. I'll be shopping then, and I'll be shopping probably a week after New Year's.
Yep. That's like the best time. That after Christmas? Oh.
After Christmas, after New Year's, and like a week before Black Friday.
Yep. It's the best time.
Because now a lot of retailers, they actually start their Black Friday like deals like a week prior.
A week before, yep, building up to it. So.
And the only advantage Black Friday has now is like the doorbusters, but really only a few of those even worthwhile. But none of them worth traveling. None of them.
I did Black Friday when I got my PS3, my first one, and I was like, never again. Never again.
Did anybody take advantage of any of the online sales on the different platforms, like on Steam, PSN, Xbox Live, eShop?
I did a little bit of Steam.
I
A little
did
bit of
a
fun.
well, I told you guys about this, but I did the Target price match at Best Buy for the buy two get one free.
Oh yeah, you got them good. Yeah, might as well. Why not?
Yeah, it was for me. There was nothing I really wanted. I pretty much have all the games I want so far. So there was nothing really intriguing for me to buy anything. So
There was
Well,
one game in particular I was looking for, and I think I talked to you guys about this after a podcast one night. But that game, even after being out for 2 years, it was not on sale at any retailer, online or
oh
brick and
yeah,
mortar. Lego City
Lego City.
Undercover.
wow, really?
Dude,
So
that
the only place
game
to get it
was
is on the
still
eShop?
$49.99
Oh,
at
yeah.
every local retailer, and I checked places I never even heard of online before, and the game was still like 40 or $50.
But
Yeah, I checked
didn't Nintendo
all
publish
of
that?
October, all of
Yeah.
November, and the first week of December. That game is still $50. But guess what game was $15? Lego the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Lego
because
the
that isn't
movie isn't
published by
as good
Nintendo.
as
I actually heard
yeah,
it's
but
just as good. I mean, of course, Lego City Undercover is better, but even
yeah, but
still, that game came out later, and it's $15.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, Lego City is. I mean, look, it is a really like it's a Lego game, but it's got that Nintendo charm and like the humor in it. People are gonna say, well, it's kiddie, but like people who watch like Starsky and Hutch and stuff like that and Dirty Harry and stuff like that can play this game and they'll get a lot of the jokes because they aren't for geared towards kids. They're geared towards adults. So
Yeah, I played it, and I
Honestly,
beat it from GameFly,
Lego
but I just
City.
couldn't believe it
the
wasn't on
reason
sale.
is it's a Wii U exclusive that's published by Nintendo.
Yeah,
So that's the only reason that it's still
they keep it at that
40 50
price.
dollars because
That you mean that Evergreen title?
that's right.
Yeah,
That's how
and
It's
Nintendo
like
gets
it's
down.
like Super Mario Galaxy 2 still costs like $40 on the Wii.
Right.
yep,
it's a little bit shy. It's like 200K shy of a million copies, and the 3DS version already sold a million. So,
Hmm.
um, I
that's how
mean,
Nintendo
how
rolls.
they roll, and they'll keep it on the market, and people will
Yep.
keep buying it. They still promote it when you watch any of their videos or anything like that, and it stays on the front of the eShop some way somehow
Yep.
every other week.
And every time a Lego movie drops, it's going to get bump in sales because it's a
Yeah,
Lego game. So it'd be smart to keep it at the price it's at.
and it's a Lego City game too. So it, like
Right.
the Lego
The toys, right?
the Lego movie is almost like how the Lego City universe looks. So
Hmm.
that kind of helps. That kind of helps in that regard too. And that's probably I would imagine that game sold better than the other Lego games, but I'm not really sure. I'm not even gonna look. But yeah, that's all I really have for topics, guys. Do you have anything other than do you play games to have fun or impress other people? Because other than that, the only other question I was going to ask is to quote the words of IGN GameScoop, what games are you gaming?
What?
What
That,
games?
that
What
was
games are you gaming?
Yeah, because they started using that as a verb because they got a really bad email sent in that was trying to say what games are you playing currently, and so they used that quote for several weeks after they got their email as the new in joke. What games are you gaming?
That
So
makes no sense.
yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. But since gaming is a verb, what games are you gaming?
I'm about to play
Okay.
some Lego City Undercover, I think.
All I gotta say is womp womp.
Yeah, but
On everything I own or what in general?
just in general, gamers at large. So gamers at large, what are you playing?
All right. So right now, I'm probably gonna jump on Bayonetta 2 because I got to do something with GameCap for it. I'm gonna crack open this Dragon Age Inquisition on Xbox One probably tomorrow, and on the Wii, I found a copy of One Piece Unlimited Adventure that I've been looking for like 3 years. So I'm gonna crack open that. On the 360, I got to finish off Borderlands, the pre-sequel. And there's another game. Oh yeah, Jet Force Gemini on 64.
Awesome.
For
Always
me,
worth it.
I'm game capping my fiance as we speak while she plays Captain Toad. I just uploaded
Ooh.
the first video earlier today. You guys probably saw it. Um, I'll be playing it myself soon. I I plan on getting back on Smash Brothers on the Wii U because I've been beasting with Little Mac all day today. I probably lost like 3 matches online and won like 50. So
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm really I really plan on mastering this character, and I think I'm pretty damn close to doing it. I need to get back into Hyrule Warriors because I do have all the DLC for it. It's just that I've been so distracted by Smash and other games. Um, but for right now, that's about it.
Okay.
Um, because I'll go. I mean, Kingdom Hearts is my blood right now. So that's what I've been playing so far. I've been on Smash a little bit, but it's just like
pretty
there's
much
no
have
one to
to.
play anymore. It's like after that whole week, it's just nobody wants to play anymore. So um, just been on Kingdom Hearts, and I'm gonna be basically I've been recording a lot, especially with the little organization battles that you can do. Just beat Marmar today, of course. But if you guys don't know who that is, Marluxia. Um, but yeah, I mean, not really much going on. Captain Toad, I was planning to get like probably in 2 months because I really don't want to play that game right now. It's a game that
Blasphemy.
I'm gonna play too quickly. Trust me, and I will complete that game too quickly. And when I mean
No, you
complete, I
won't.
mean get all the diamonds, get all the challenges. I will.
Oh,
But
the games. As a person that's been playing and been watching my fiance play for the better half of this day, trust me when I say, even around like the fifth and 10th puzzles, it gets crazy. It gets extremely complicated.
Because you're managing the camera and everything else.
Well,
Yeah.
no, not
That's
even
about the
that.
game.
Nintendo has, you know how like some of their games they really do hide like some of the clever stars. You're like, man, I would never know that's there. You basically just ran across it by accident. Yeah, that. Like it, they did a damn good job on this game. And like I said, she's basically just on like the first 5 to 10 puzzles, and the first 2 or 3 are easy. After that, you're like, man, what the hell? What the hell?
well, you're speaking to somebody that loves puzzle games and beats Professor Layton so easily. So I can basically do that within probably 10 hours or 1 hour, depending that I'm actually going to do the challenges. So it's actually pretty easy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's just not much right now in December, so I don't know, and nobody can be playing right now. Um, I mean, of course, with the games that we had, but yeah, that's basically about it.
Okay. If nobody else is gonna go, I'll mention what I'm playing. Um, so right now, obviously, I'm still playing the final chapters of, well, the epilogue chapters of the game of the year, Bayonetta 2. Um, Also playing the DLC for Mario Kart 8, getting my ass whooped thoroughly by Terminator Juice and other people on the weekly race. I'll get back at them eventually. On the Xbox One, what do you think I'm playing? Somebody just tell me. What am I playing on Xbox One?
Some fighting game, I would think.
Oh,
Man, I
okay.
thought you were playing that. What
Yeah,
was that
I know
game?
what you're playing. You're playing 8 cores and DLC.
I'm
No,
playing
he's
Eight
playing that
Core.
Rise Son of Rome.
Wow. You consider that a fighting game? Okay.
You have to fight to play through it.
It's a cinematic
the
experience.
ultimate fighting game.
Well, I'm playing season 2 and still playing with Jago. I don't trust to play online with anybody else as far as losing respect points and things like that. But I am playing with all the other characters offline so far, and I really like Maya and the new guy that basically looks like Mumra from Thundercats.
Conra?
Mumra. Oh,
Yeah, his name is like I can't think of his
Conra.
name. Yeah, is it Gunra? That's his name.
Conra.
Conrad. Yeah, he looks like
Conra.
Mumra.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first thing you have to do is play with him so you know exactly how to fight against him. So yeah, I found out pretty quickly all the weaknesses he had and pissed off a lot of people because every time a new character comes out, everybody just automatically plays with him online, not knowing that other people were going to figure out everything. So I got about a good 20 wins in a row for that. So thank you people for promoting me from a 13 to a 19 on Killer Instinct. I appreciate that leveling. Um, Other than that, PlayStation 4 has been playing standby mode, and I will not turn it on for update yet. Um, but prior to that, I was playing Spelunky online, um, Resogun. I'm tempted to to try the DLC for Infamous. So especially since it is how can I say this? It is separate from the main game, so you don't have to have the disc in or other kind of craziness. So I'll attempt to try that and give my impressions on it, and
It,
I may
it
even do.
makes you it makes you wonder why they didn't include it with the original release.
I don't know. Maybe because the console shipped in 2013 instead of 2014. I'm sorry. Let me
I would
stop.
say 2015, but go ahead.
Um, on so on PC, I'm still playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, Galactic Strongholds, which is the new expansion that's out right now. So Andre, I know you gave me a shout out. You kind of wanted to play with me, and I guess we'll get together, and if it comes down to it, I'll invite you to my clan, and we'll go on and play and stuff like that. So um, been gaming that. I'm still in the middle of trying to play Portal 2. The part of a whole bunch of stuff. I got a Steam backlog from hell. It's crazy. So um, I just finished doing all the extra content in the first Portal that they released about 3 years ago. So if you played on Steam and you got a certain score on Steam, they would send you these extra hard as hell levels to play on Portal. Because basically, if you've played Portal 2 and you play Portal 1, it makes you mad because those extra levels almost require you to have the knowledge of how Portal 2 works. And when you play Portal 1 in those extra levels, you don't have the ability to do certain things that you can do in Portal 2. So it's like, hey, here's a sneak peek at Portal 2, but you can't do it because it's Portal 1. Get mad. Rage. So you have to take your time and set your warp points appropriately so you can jump to certain places and stuff like that. Something that you would do simply in Portal 2, you'll have to do the long way around in Portal 1. So I'm still kind of going through that. I'm in the middle of my third playthrough, and I'm about an hour and a half in on the very first Half-Life. So I don't know if any of you out there, is there anybody that hasn't played Half-Life? Everybody in here, I would imagine, has, right?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I just actually finished
Play
playing
Half-Life,
Half-Life
yeah.
3.
Okay. Did you just say
I'm
Half-Life
from
3?
Half-Life 3. Nice one.
Shall you be blasted off to an undestined planet and shall be destroyed because that game. Oh god dang it!
Yeah. Well, the original Half-Life, still playing that in all of its low resolution and small polygon glory. It's still pretty cool, man. Pretty accurate, and it's kind of creepy, man. Even if you go back and play it now, it's like there's some parts in that game. It's just like, do I really want to go around that corner? It's kind of yeah, it's kind of scary, man. Depending on what areas you're in and what equipment you have.
Gabe doesn't know what 3, man. He doesn't know what 3 is. He doesn't know the number. He always skips it every single time they go through it in class. All right, Gabe. Ready? 1, 2.
Fortress
2.3.
It's like,
Oh,
we're
man.
gonna get Left 4 Dead 4. No Left 4 Dead.
It's like he's afraid of the number 3.
Capcom finally started counting to 3. They did it pretty well, but they got
Yeah,
Yeah, they make
Yeah,
multiple
but
versions
it
of
took
3.
them
It's great.
15 years, man.
Yeah, it took them a while to get to Street Fighter 3. It took a very long time. But once they started doing it, they started counting everything to 3.
Fighter Street, Street Fighter 2, then like they did Street Fighter 2 like 5 times.
Yes.
Then
you
they
for
did
starting
Street
that.
Fighter 3. Or did they do Alpha first? They did Alpha first.
They did Alpha first.
They did
and
Alpha
then
first.
then they did the same thing with Alpha because it was like Alpha 2, Alpha EX plus.
Yeah. Oh
Alpha EX
god.
plus. It was Alpha EX plus 2 or something like that. They did a whole bunch to it.
The EX Plus, and EX Plus 2. I think it was also EX3. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and then they did.
It could have been. You never know with Capcom.
Then it was Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, and 3. And
Yep.
then there was a revision to Street Fighter Alpha 3 too. Also,
They released Street Fighter Collection on the Saturn and the PS1 because I have it.
Yeah, there was a bunch of arcade revisions too, but they typically don't talk about those. Those are just Capcom internal kind of things.
And then
And
they
then
went to Darkstalkers.
yeah, and they had the Darkstalkers role. They were going with that back and forth because they were trying to compete with Sega and the Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers and all the other kind of craziness. So they were trying to come out with a bunch of different fighting games on their end too. So and they were still doing the beat 'em ups. So they were still doing what was it, Alien versus Predator and some other stuff they were doing.
That
So
was a good one.
yeah, that was a pretty good beat 'em up.
Yep.
But yeah,
Brand new 3D Streets of Rage, man. Bring that back. Bringing it back in glorious 2.5D, I'll be happy.
You know, I wasn't a huge Streets of Rage fan, but I'd cut off a pinky for a final fight.
man,
Oh
I
my
would,
gosh.
but I can play them interchangeably. Oh my god, it's like I could almost play Final Fight with a Streets of Rage character and vice versa.
It
And I know
doesn't.
But
exactly
you
how
know
it
what
would
though?
play out.
I know the game Red likes. Red, he may not like Streets of Rage, but he loves the bouncer.
No, I don't like the like. There was just something about Final Fight, and I know people are like, "Oh, you had the SNES version," and I know what some people would say. The SNES couldn't handle the arcade port. Let me put it this way: they made Final Fight 3. There was so much stuff going on in Final Fight 3 that if you put that on an arcade arcade main board, it would have been insane. It's just Capcom hadn't learned the hardware yet. I don't know what was preventing them from putting a good version of the original Final Fight on the SNES.
Well, you know what it was? It was memory. So they didn't want to pay for a 64 meg card or a 64 megabit card. They would all three of those games were 16 meg cards. So 16 megabits. So you take that as you will. Divide 16 by 8, and that's how many megabytes were on that cartridge.
I can understand that because we know Capcom has an issue with money, but I mean I think their development also got better because the first Final Fight on the SNES, played this game so many times it's not even funny, but is a decent game. But the second one looks slightly better, but the third one, I mean, that looks like something you'd find in the arcades.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, and that was more artistic design choices more than anything else because the capacity of the game was still the same.
Yeah,
And when you started looking at SNES and some of the graphics abilities for it, they were directly like space related. Because like the more expensive the cart was, the better the graphics were in the game. If you look at stuff like Super Metroid and stuff like that, that was a 32 megabit cart versus some of the 8 meg and 16 meg carts from when the Super Nintendo first came out. And towards the end, you started getting 64 meg carts. Was it Donkey Kong Country 3? I guess it was, and stuff like that. You start seeing, and it was just like none of that stuff would have been done in the first generation of Super Nintendo games. So
I mean, you see that in every console. Like games that came out towards the end of the NES's life cycle looked darn near like some of them looked darn near like Super Nintendo games, early Super Nintendo games. It's like what? I mean, just as the developers get used to the hardware, they begin to optimize and learn how to do stuff, and that's why, in my opinion, like console development, like always kind of it gets better towards the end of the life cycle of the console. Normally, if you're lucky.
That's typically the case. All right, guys. Well, I have no further comments. If we can go ahead and cut the show, if you guys don't have anything further to add, we can do outros. Does anybody have any further comments?
No.
Alrighty. Gamers at large are in charge. So we'll go ahead and do our outros, and I'll start from my left. So Ken, you can go ahead.
Hi everyone. Sorry for the late arrival, but this is Dr. Feelgood, the guy with the smooth moves and nice tunes, always in a damn good gaming mood. You should look out for more content coming soon, more game caps, classic and current games. I give you a hint about the classic one, probably one of the greatest wrestling games ever developed. But look out for that, and as I always say, keep it gaming.
All right, and we'll go with Jay. Give your outro.
All right, everybody, have fun tonight. It's Jay from the Game Cafe. I will have something planned. I think on Thursday. I think, but yeah, just look forward to what I got, and I will be seeing you guys then later.
All right, Jay. Mr. Red Fox, give your outro.
This is Mr. Red Fox. I don't have a wacky outro. What I do have for you is tomorrow at 8. No, not 8. 6. Well, I forget the time. This week's been hectic. Sony destroyed my brain cells. I'll be doing a podcast about just general stuff, but mostly we're going to be talking about that Game Award show. So tune in. It's going to be awesome.
All righty. All right, Mega Gamer Man.
Oh yeah, you said that like if it was let me see here. Mega again, whatever. But yeah, guys, hopefully you like this podcast. It was nice. For me, I got some Kingdom Hearts. I got a Birth by Sleep walkthrough coming in. I already uploaded number 1. Others will have actual commentary. Just a little bit noisy around here. But yeah, Smash for Glory matches will continue. I'm gonna have to go back on there. And yeah, so here I try to make a new outro here. Enjoy your games, enjoy the adventure, 'cause gaming, may it rain forever. Okay, there you go.
No, I'm ready to go back to the original.
Man, screw you.
I like that red Rosalina though. That's pimp tight.
I love it. I love it.
All right, Mr. T, go ahead and give your outro, man.
Hey, fools, Mr. T of the Mr. T Show. Another great podcast. If you're wondering what's going on with my channel, it's been quiet over there. Doing a lot of work. I'm trying to get a lot of my work done so I can be done for the year by the end of next week. So I'll have a lot more stuff. But I do have some stuff coming very soon, sometime tonight. I'll be putting up some videos, a nice little music video for you fools. I hope you enjoy that. And some of my impressions on the recent Nintendo news. So stay tuned for that. And as I always say, one more thing. Play Nintendo, fools.
All right, outstanding. And I am the legendary Rogue Ninja of K9 Descent, Shadow Fox Prime, Shadow Fox Infinite, and Shadow Fox is known. And, you know, as I always say, do you play games to have fun or to impress other people? This is Gamers at Large, episode 48, and we are out.
I love